How many times in the Torah does it say God's eyes? Einei Hashem. How many times? Only twice? Because he has two eyes? How many times does it say Yad Hashem? How many times does it say Pi Hashem? So, does he have eyes? Does he have a mouth? Does he have an arm? Yes? No? No. Yes.
No.
Uh-huh.
I mean, no.
You Isn't that, I mean, come on, so many times. Dvar Hashem. Does he really speak? If you were there, would you hear him? No. Like real speak or mental talk? Real speech. Okay. Okay, so many people say, and it says in the Mefarshim, that it is not literal. It's only a mashal. Why do we have such a mashal? To help us understand, like every mashal. But to help us understand what? That he doesn't have an arm or a mouth, and he doesn't really speak, and he... So listen to this example. My granddaughter was crying because her doll broke. So I sat down and I said, I feel so bad because it must have hurt the doll terribly. So she started to laugh. She says, it didn't hurt. I said, what do you mean it didn't hurt? The arm came off. She said, it's not a real arm. I said, how do you know? She said, it's plastic. She's right. A plastic arm is not a real arm. It looks like an arm, but it's not a real arm. What's a real arm? A real arm has to have a bone and skin with muscle, right? That's a real arm. A plastic arm is just plastic. A bone and skin is just a bone and skin. It's not a real arm. It looks like an arm, but it's not a real arm. It's just a bone. God has a real arm, a real one. Since we were created in his image, B'Tselem Elokim, that's why we also have something like an arm. But his is the real thing. Ours is just like a doll. So does he really have a mouth? Or we have a real mouth? He has a real one. We have something like it. Does he really speak or we really speak? He said, let there be light, vayihi. You try it. Say it 100 times. Nothing will happen. Because our speech is not the real, his is the real. So who is the mashal and who is the nimshal? We are the example, not him. So does he really have an arm? Yes. Is it literal, an arm? Yes. An actual arm? Yes. You mean like mine? No, because yours is not the real thing. Now it makes a little bit of sense. I call my arm an arm because it's a tiny little example of his real arm. So it's not confusing, it's a little bit helpful. But don't think that his arm is like yours, because his arm is the real one. So the Torah is not using words incorrectly, saying he has an arm when he doesn't really. Every word in the Torah is true. So if it says an arm, then it's an arm. Just don't think it's an arm like a doll's arm. because it's a real arm.